welcome to another episode of the Millionaire Mentor Method podcast with me, your host, Krystal, also known as the most famous woman in the world. So today I want to talk about gold buying. Since yesterday in episode 30, I touched upon it briefly, but I know that all of us here in America, most of us are not taught anything about financial education. We're not taught about wealth retention. We're not taught about diversified portfolios. We're not taught about how to transfer wealth to our kids and grandkids or any of that stuff. So, of course, this podcast is number one about education and, of course, mentorship too. But let's just jump right into it. So, first of all, when we're buying gold, this is for long-term wealth retention. This is not going to be for frequent trading. This is not going to be like trading stocks on Robinhood and, to the moon and FOMO and YOLO and going up and down. This is not a get rich quick scheme. You're not going to buy gold and then 30 days later, you doubled your money and now you can retire. That has historically not been the case for gold. And I don't believe that's going to happen anytime soon. So when we're talking about buying gold in this episode anyways, I just want to focus on buying physical gold. So I don't mean buying gold stocks or buying gold related companies or gold mining companies or gold ETFs or anything like that. We're talking today about buying actual physical gold coins and gold bars. And yes, you can buy them at a local shop. So that is the easiest way. And it's also easy because you don't have to wait for shipping and you don't have to pay for shipping if there is any shipping costs. And also at coin shops or gold bullion shops, you can pay cash. And so there is no paper trail for those of you out there that do not like being tracked. And you can also sell gold as well at local gold bullion and coin shops. And you can sell that so it's cash in, cash out. You can buy it with cash and you can sell it for cash. So first of all, when we're talking about this as well, we want to remember that we're just keeping it simple. This is for long-term value retention. This is for something that can be passed, to your kids, to your grandkids, to their kids and their kids, possibly, potentially. And also, this is just a part of our portfolio. So don't get too crazy about what's on the front. There's the coins themselves have different, things printed on the top. I'm sure there's a technical term of what that's called. But so some of them have, like there's the Canadian maple leaf, and then there's ones with the Queen of England's head on it. And there's there's ones with like gold eagles or whatever on it. So it doesn't really much matter what's on it. It just matters that you're buying a gold coin or bar and that it's made of gold. That is the point. And just really quick to touch upon that as well. Typically it is easiest because when you go online or to a shop and you see all these different types of coins and all these different types of like embossings and engravings and everything like that, just to keep it super simple, let's just make it easy and just buy from the mint of the country that you live in. So for us, we would buy coins that are minted from the US Mint. Very simple. And we also do that because in times of emergency, those are typically easier to sell than coins that have other things on them, such as kangaroos, which yes, they do have coins with kangaroos on them, and all kinds of other stuff. I've seen coins with guitars on them and all that kind of stuff. So just easier in a case of emergency to sell the coins that are from the US Mint. So, and also, yes, you can buy online and just have these coins or bars shipped to you. And if you're wondering where's the best places to buy, so you just want to go to big, reputable, and trustworthy bullion dealers. And some of those, really quick, I can just list, are APMEX, so APMEX. There is JM Bullion, Provident Metals, SD Bullion, Silver Gold Bullion. Silver Gold Bull, sorry, BGASC, and a few others. But those are ones that have been around for a very long time and are very trustworthy, and you won't get scammed. You'll definitely get your gold in the mail. Should you buy gold coins or should you buy gold bars, and how much should you buy, and all of that stuff? So typically, for those of us just starting out who are not experts, we want to just go ahead and buy coins. Typically, because again, in times of emergency, the gold coins tend to be easier to sell than the gold bars. And there's some reasons for that, but coin shops typically would prefer to buy the coins faster than they would buy the bars. And part of that reason is because coins are harder to counterfeit, but there's other reasons, I'm sure, as well. I'm not an expert in gold by any stretch of the imagination. I just know enough to get by and do this podcast and buy gold on my own and all that stuff. So, also, there is going to be something called a spot price, and don't get too confused about the spot price. The spot price just means the price of 1 ounce of gold at this particular moment. So right now, and we have to remember that the price of gold, which is a commodity, it changes moment to moment. So, and it fluctuates. So if you just Google spot price of gold, you can go, and some of these websites, you can actually see the price of gold going up a few cents, going down a few cents, and just fluctuating. And throughout the year, it will fluctuate. So how do retail shops deal with this fluctuation, right? So they obviously, a coin shop in your local city can't just give you the exact price of gold that exact moment, because the next second it would change. So basically, and I'm not exactly sure how often they reprice their gold coins and bars, but I'm sure they take an average of, I don't know, the month or the time period, and they do a retail upcharge, a premium of anywhere from 6 to 13% approximately, which, yes, does that mean that depending on who you buy your gold coins from, it will be different prices? Yes, that is what that means. But again, don't worry about it too much, because this is your zombie apocalypse emergency savings. And you should be buying gold coins at regular intervals as your income permits. And how much of your portfolio should you be putting into gold? Well, you know what? I'm going to leave that actually for another day to get into percentages of portfolios, because I really don't want to get into the weeds. But let's just say it shouldn't be a ton. Okay. Like, don't put 50% of your, don't go out and take half of your investments and put them all in gold. That's not exactly what we want to be doing. I need to look up exactly the recommended amount of your portfolio that you should have in gold. I'm sure it also depends on obviously how much income you're making and your other investments and stuff like that. But again, we're not getting into it right now because I'm trying to make this quick. I don't have a lot of time right now. I'm in between meetings and I need to do this podcast. So, okay, what else have I? Oh, yes. So, yes, different dealers will have slightly different prices. The smaller the coin, so if you get a half-ounce coin, the retail upcharge on that is going to be higher than a bigger coin. So if you get a 1 ounce coin, the retail premium is going to be about 6 to 7%, and smaller coins can be at about 13%. All right. Is that really it? I think that might be it. A couple things. Just remember that you're buying this as bullion, not as collector coins. So the grade of the coin does not really matter for our purposes. And lastly, just remember, this is for buy it and forget it. So you should only buy as much gold coins as you can permit without needing to sell it anytime soon, preferably not sell it at all. So This is you buy it and you don't need that money in the foreseeable future. This is a store of value, and hopefully you can pass it on through your generations. All right, guys, this is going to be a quick one. I appreciate you. Peace and love, and remember, each one, teach one.
The information provided in this podcast is for educational and entertainment purposes only and should not be construed as financial advice, investment advice, or medical advice. The host is not a financial advisor nor a medical doctor or licensed therapist. Any financial or medical decisions made based on the information in this podcast are made at the listener's own risk. It is recommended that listeners consult with licensed professionals such as CPAs, financial advisors, and licensed physicians before making any investment or medical decisions. The host and creators of this podcast accept no responsibility or liability for any loss or damages incurred as a result of the information provided in this podcast.